These are the complete interviews with the subjects for the documentary Encounters. The only editing performed on the footage are camera cuts, sound correction, and minor color corrections.
All right. You may see me try to get up every now and then just checking cameras.
Okay.
I am paying full attention to you the entire time. It's just because I have to run the cameras and everything is why I check.
Okay.
Uh, if you don't mind, how about state your name for me?
Marion Morris.
And you don't mind being on camera?
No, I do not.
The best place to start is, why are we having this interview?
We're having this interview because I had contact with interdimensional beings, and also I've worked with the DoD with doing research with aliens per se.
Okay, so you've had direct contact with aliens.
Yes.
I guess can you tell me about have you had more than one encounter?
Yes. The encounters that I've had are encounters where they've shown me files, where of different beings. One, serpents, grays, fish, interdimensional beings that have like a frequency, blue beings, and different other beings, many others.
Can you tell me about your first encounter?
My first encounter was when I was about 6 years old, and I was living in Anderson, South Carolina. I woke up in the bedroom, and voila, there was a big bee sitting in the corner of my bedroom. And in the corner of the bedroom, it had yellow eyes, big circle eyes, yellow eyes, looked exactly like a bee, but probably 5 or 6 times bigger than an actual natural bee.
Right.
It was just staring at me.
A body?
Yes, had a body, but it wasn't a physical body. It looked like a digital body, not a normal body. And
Pixelated, you mean, or?
yeah, it looks pixelated. And I screamed at the top of my lungs, and I screamed for my mother. And my mother came into the room, and she said, "What is it?" And I said, "Look, there's a bee. Look at that bee. It's right in the top of the corner of the room." And she swung up at the corner of the room, and it disappeared. And that was my first encounter with a different type of being.
Did you have any more at a young age similar to that, or?
I had visions. I would have psychic visions where I would see people injured, and then the next couple of days I would encounter that. I also had visits with Navy personnel at the elementary school where they would look at my files, and they would basically give me an insert in my memory that they've been there and they're watching me. So at a young age, I've always felt that someone was watching me and someone was sort of like coming after me or chasing me. Not paranoia, but contact with other beings.
Now, we didn't speak much before this other than just a few messages back and forth. And you had mentioned that you do have an implant. So we'll go ahead and open that up. Did you have an implant at this time when you were still young, do you think?
No, I had no clue what that was. From the information that I've received so far, I have sort of an implant that goes across my forehead. I've been informed that I've been a part of the Montauk project, which is a project that
New York.
Yes, which is a project that works with other beings that has human and alien technology through my research.
How many encounters you said you had visions after when you were 6? Yes. Your next actual encounter, when was that?
My next actual encounter was when I had a vision of 2 guys having a wreck on a motorcycle. I had it in a dream, and then a couple of days later, I was riding with my father, and we was driving, and we pulled over to the side of the road, and it was 2 black males injured from a motorcycle wreck, and I re-encountered that this was the dream that I had. So I knew it was some kind of talent, some kind of psychic ability that I had where I could interpret future events.
And did your parents ever see anything? I'm gonna use the word abnormal in you during that time, and not abnormal in a bad way, just
Yes.
that you were special.
My mother, one day I was in my bedroom again, laying in the floor with a Bible open and a computer that my mom had that was given to her from work. And I was trying to understand how to work the computer. I never knew how a computer worked, neither did my parents. And my mother walked in one day and she said, "You're going to be very special one day. You're going to learn how to use a computer and you're going to be able to preach or sort of give us an understanding of what the Bible means in detail with the interpretation with other beings." And I looked at the Bible, I said, "I don't care anything about this Bible."
Yeah.
But I was really angry at the computer because I didn't know how it worked. I really, at that age, I really get upset. I really got upset when it came to certain problems that I had that I couldn't solve. So I said, but I'm going to learn how to work this computer. And here I am today with a computer science degree and pretty well versed in the scriptures.
And I'm not gonna necessarily ask your age, but about what year was this stuff going on?
I was around 8 or 9, 6 or 7, around in that time frame.
And it was basically not long after computers came out. Is that
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we're through these early years. Your mom, at least your mom sees that there's something about you, right?
Yes.
High school, college.
Oh, in high school, I didn't really believe any of it. I was one of the guys. Really, I rebelled against it. Like I said, I knew something was coming after me. I just felt in the back of my conscience that I was here to do something. But I was like, I'm here to do whatever I want to do. I'm free, and so I rebelled against anything that.
And you didn't think anything of UFOs or anything like that at the
No.
time?
I only had one event one day when I was really in rebellion. When I went outside, and I just screamed at the top of my lungs. And I looked up at the sky, at the stars, and I said, "Why'd you put me here? I don't want to be here. I hate being here." But this is one of the events or episodes where I just didn't want to fulfill my destiny or goal per se.
Now, you leave high school and you go to the Navy.
Yes.
All right, you've got a good smile on your face. I'm assuming there's a story here.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I had several events where I would hear voices, not necessarily voices in my head, but voices that was outside of my conscience. I would say something that is similar would be another conscience speaking to me, and it helped me marry my wife. It told me, you need to, straighten up your life, and you need to get married. And I was like, how am I going to get married? I don't want to be married, but you need to be married. I said, okay, well, you need to help me find a wife. And the conscience described me, the wife, and said, would you like this? I said, yeah, I like this type of woman. Okay, well, you're going to meet this woman in Australia. Another event, very simple. I was on the flight deck working, and simple things. I was just stating to myself, I need to brush my teeth and floss. Well, the same day, someone walked up to me and gave me some floss from off the flight deck, which were, foreign objects. And they said, here you go. So things like that, many other occurrences occurred where they demonstrated clearly that then I'm not alone. And I've
Now,
been.
did you have an implant at this point?
No, I still didn't have any clue that I've.
So you had it at some point. You just don't know when you got it.
Well, I had a couple of cuts on my leg a couple years back, visiting Alabama, Huntsville. There, working for NASA, doing contract work, going back and forth, and I woke up with a cut on my leg. Also had an event in 2014, 2015 time frame while studying at the Citadel. On a given night, which I have video, walked out and a ship came down and took me, and I had missing time. And at that time, they possibly could have given me an implant too, so I'm not sure.
Can you describe this ship?
Yes. It was a ship, 2 pyramids. I can draw it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a camera to throw on this.
Okay.
All right.
So this ship, it was shaped like a pyramid. The top portion and the bottom portion was identical, the same shape. Top portion was just so. It had a seam here. The bottom portion was here, identical.
So it's like a double pyramid.
Yes, four-sided pyramid, both top and bottom. It was blue. It had lights here on the edge, red lights, and it had some type of a skin to it where it was fish scales. So it has these scales
Okay.
all over the ship, and it looks just like fish scales.
All right. And you said this came down to you while you were on the ship, like out at sea, or?
No, while I was in college.
Oh, while you were in college. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And it came.
And this is at the Citadel.
Yes, the College of Charleston, which
College Charleston. I got you.
yes, which is a part of the Citadel. Classes are shared, it's a joint program. But in the video on the road, right outside the College of Charleston office, I was there one night. I actually had a flat tire, and I called my family down to come help me with the flat tire because I had to wait for the tow truck to get there. So I said, hey, come on down, while I wait for the tow truck. So my whole family came down, and my daughter got out the car, and I was playing with my daughter, and I was just running after her, giggling and having fun. And all of a sudden, I look up, and I see this crowd there. I didn't pay any mind, and I was like, what is that? And I just kept running. And all of a sudden, I just felt this electrical sense come over me. And here it comes, just floating towards me. It turns its spotlight on, and it just waves on the ground, this spotlight, and it comes, and then it's,
Now, the spotlight, you got it shining from the bottom. Is the ship staying still and then the spotlight's moving around, like,
yes,
say, like a helicopter spotlight to
yeah,
be able to move? Okay.
yes. Here's the ground here, and it's basically, to me, how I interpret it is showing off. It was showing off to me because it was very gentle and polite to me. It came towards me, and then somehow, from my experience now, I know from the tingling sensation, it's shifting time. It's giving me missing time. It shifts position, and it flies over me, and it lands. And then after it lands, I can see it come down, and these lights are blinking. After it lands, I'm in a different location next to my car. And then the shape of the ship, it changes shape. It went into a plasma field. It looks just like plasma, but this plasma was communicating. It was just like a consciousness, and it had an eye on it.
Did it beat at all with the? Was
no
it
sound.
just flowing?
Yep, just flowing. It had an eye, but it wasn't a physical eye like this. But the shape, the understanding of it, the consciousness of it was an eye, and it was just looking at me saying,
Right.
point to point, it was communicating with me. And then it just zipped up. Once it zipped up, I was like, oh my gosh, I just had an encounter. I reached for my phone, grabbed my phone, and I started recording. And that's the video that I have now.
Okay. And you'll be able to send that to me so I can overlay it.
Yes. It's a .mov file.
Okay.
Now,
did you didn't see any physical bodies other than this plasma?
I did not see any physical beings come out of the craft. I saw it lower.
And it lowered where it was sitting on its point.
Yes. Lower down to the ground. And from then, I was in a different position. And then I saw this plasma.
Was it?
It changed shape. I would say,
as far as when it was the double pyramid, how tall maybe?
Size of a bus.
Okay.
But then it shrunk.
Like the length of a bus except upright.
Yes. It shrunk down to a solar cell. You know how a solar cell looks? It shrunk and it expanded back. So it was morphing.
Right.
It had all these different capabilities. It was morphing. But through the information that I've received so far, this ship came from Sirius.
Okay. Now they the plasma field, do you think that's kind of like a space-time gravity type thing?
Yes. Yes. So, but not only is it manipulating space and time, but also it's a living entity. Whatever it is, I believe that the beings that operate this ship are one, fish being, some type of fish technology, but also this plasma field is a being also.
All right, where do you? Let me fix this other camera again.
Okay.
And your daughter was with you during that time.
Yes.
Now, have you experienced this ship again?
No, but I've had a message sent to me that, oh, we're landing in your backyard if you want to. I've seen ships in my backyard before, but
how many different types of ships have you seen?
I've seen a saucer. I've seen a ship that looks like a blimp, and I've seen a interdimensional ship. I like to say that because it's like electrical. It's like pistollated helicopter flying, and I would say, yeah, that's about it. Ships. Oh, and also I've seen a triangle ship on a rock bed.
Okay.
And I also seen the German bell with a crack on the side.
And how tall was the bell?
The bell, when I saw the bell, they uploaded my consciousness into the room where it was at. And when my conscience went into the room, these UFOs give off a field. Right. And the field they give off of is the conscience field. And my conscience didn't withhold the conscience of the vehicle. So when I went into it and I saw it, I kind of jerked back and I woke up. Okay. And I saw a saucer in a hangar out at, I believe, S4 or Area 51 with a cape on it.
Okay. A lot to take in, you know that. I don't know where to ask.
I have a lot. Yes, I have a whole lot. I have information of me interfacing with a fish being where I went to sleep one night, woke up. It was an Air Force guy sitting in front of me just like this, had a bald head, had an Air Force insignia. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there, it just feels just like me and you talking. So it's some type of far out technology they have that they use your consciousness, where they can see your consciousness anywhere. And he said, Mr. Morris, so-and-so, I can remember the name, wants to meet you. And the first thing I said, no, I don't want to meet him. I don't know what this is. It was jet black in there. And I said, whatever it is not good. It's not good.
when these thoughts are coming in your mind where you're getting communication.
Yes.
Is it in English? Is it you talking to yourself that's embedding, or is it just you get the feeling that such and such?
There are different modes. The scariest mode is where you feel like you have a shell head, where you feel like you're just a robot, where you don't have any thoughts in your head, you don't think for yourself. Whatever's communicating is controlling you. That's one mode. Another mode is where you're communicating with other people. You know, so-and-so entity A or entity B has a conversation with you and you're communicating back and forth. So it's a bi-directional communication. And it's another mode where it's just an entity and it seems like you're just seamless, you know, one entity together, and sort of you're just in a harmony. And there's another mode.
Kind of like when you were finding out about what your wife would be like, the ideal wife would be like?
Yes, that was like bi-directional. Okay. And there's another mode where there's a higher consciousness where you're just learning, and it's like euphoria, where this consciousness is so high and it's communicating with you, you just can't explain it. It's just higher than the consciousness that we're aware of.
I might need to get you to help me as far as where I need to go with it. Hold on just a second.
I mean, any questions you got? I mean,
yeah. And of course, I don't want to keep you so long either, because you have to be gone by 8:30ish, right?
Yes. Well, I can take it into some of the research that I've done.
Yes. Well, I tell you, before we hit that research, let's do this. You said we've talked about the fish people. Right. How about the reptilians?
Yep, serpents.
Okay.
The information that I have on serpents, they call me 11. That's the identity that they gave me. And I say the intelligence community because they didn't say, okay, we are Air Force or we are DIA or anything like that. I had references of Navy, Air Force. I've met with them, and I met with the different representatives from different organizations, but mainly Space Command. That's the command that they've gave me that they represent.
But when they meet with you, are they questioning you? Are they debriefing you?
They know everything about me.
Okay.
They
and this is, you think this is aliens that are in the military?
They work with the military.
Okay.
Yes, they work with the military. We have alliances with the Ebens. They've told me the Ebens work with us to do research. The serpents.
Where are they from? Do you know?
They're serpents on the Mars. The serpents are religious, and they have gifts and different things that they offer to certain individuals. Like I said earlier, they call me 11. That's the identity that they gave me. And the 11 came from, one is the serpents. They say it's 5, and they say the fish is 6. So 5 plus 6 is 11, which you get Stranger Things from. So that's where 11 comes from.
Okay. How about the Greys?
Greys, they're out in Dulce base. I've communicated with them before. The information that they gave me is that we wear gray clothing, a gray suit, and they can change those suits. And the suits are sort of like virtual. You can don them on.
These suits, are they like tight-fitting suits, or are they like
very tight?
Not a business suit.
No, not a business suit. Very tight suits, and they have different properties that that it has as technology.
The Greys, I guess, describe them a little bit, if you don't mind.
The gray that I've seen with NASA, NASA say, hey, it's NASA. They tell me it's NASA. They own a Greys, a portion of a Greys. I don't know if they built them out or they cloned their own, but this Gray had a suit on, a blue suit on, black collar, had an insignia, sort of like a NASA insignia.
It works directly with NASA.
Yes, and from what I could,
the eyes, how big are they compared to a
black almond eyes, big head, little neck.
How tall?
3 foot tall, 4 foot tall, not big at all.
How much of that 3 foot is their head?
I would say 2 feet. It's a really big head.
Yes. More than half of their body is.
Yes, really big head. Yes.
Digits. How many fingers?
I
what
saw.
do the fingers look like?
The only beings that I saw with fingers are beings that are green that come from Orion that had 3 fingers, and the being was what it was told to me. It was a royal being, and it's a certain force. I'm not sure if it's Mars Defense Force or some of these forces that they talk about in the SSP. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure which one, but they sort of worship this being from Orion.
What does the green being look like?
All I saw was his hand. It was very wrinkly. It was green, and it sort of had like crevices, like black crevices in his skin. And you get this really eerie feeling because my consciousness, they're showing me. They have this way where they show you images where it's not like camera images, but your consciousness and the consciousness of the image.
So you feel it more than you see it.
Yes, you feel it. And it's real eerie. It's real eerie feeling, but it was really, really cool. I was astounded.
So that's 4 different beings that we talked about. Any other?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
As questions come, I remember this image that they sent me. I remember this series of images that they put in my mind. Yes.
When is the last encounter you had?
The last encounter, the last mission I had. Okay. I was driving from Anderson, South Carolina. It was around my birthday of this year, and they transported me into this area. I don't know if I was off planet or on planet, and I saw all these virtual buildings. Huge buildings. It was banked. And as I was driving, it gave off this frequency where you couldn't drive towards the buildings. It's like a defense. And they were just letting me drive there. And I was driving and I was like, wow, this is cool. But it wasn't the first time they transported me. So they got me experience. They got me
Is this
experience
more of a
before.
conscious transport or
No, this is physical. Yes, physical.
Took your vehicle too?
Yes, took my vehicle also, and I saw the buildings, and I saw a deep sea building where they had these rays coming up out of the water, and it's like a defense force. And basically, what they told me, it was VR, and they transported me back, and I ended up in Rock Hill. And after that, they told me I was in VR. That's part of what they is. So some of the technologies that we have coming in, like Meta, is part of it. The research I've done, you can find me on Facebook, Digital Lifestyle, that deals with digital services and the digital culture that's coming, and how cultures will evolve into this digital world in the future.
But I mean, things like what Meta's trying to do with virtual reality, that technically you could say that's a type of consciousness leaving,
Yes.
because you're implanting yourself somewhere else other than your body's not going there. So,
Yes.
So you think Zuckerberg or Meta or Facebook is working directly with these aliens as well, or Google is working?
He's aware of it. I'm pretty sure he is. Yes.
All right. I've got to ask you this because this is what somebody would ask, especially since you mentioned Montauk. Ever done LSD, mushrooms, any psychedelic drugs that can repeat itself?
No, not at the time.
And you can understand why I'm asking that.
Yes. No trips. No trips.
Tell me a little bit. All right, if you're part with the Montauk, are you saying that maybe yourself has some DNA changes or anything?
Yes.
Or
They identify me as 11.
because you're part of the fish and part of the reptilian or the serpents.
Yeah.
Which I've been saying reptilian.
Right. Which is the serpents they call 5. These type of serpents they call 5, and the fish they call 6 because then they have a tail. You know,
So
stand upright with a tail.
There may be more than just 111 based on these.
Yes.
Is that how they identify?
It can
So
be
it's not like
more.
you're the 11.
No, not the only
It's
11.
just
You identify as
that's
11.
your mixture,
Yes. Yeah.
along with human.
Yes. And they can turn on the serpent side of me, and they can turn on the fish side. And they turn on the serpent side, I can smell different things. I smell different. They turn on the fish side, I can smell different things. I can see different things. And I smell different.
Why would they want what would be the benefit to either the serpents or the fish or even humans working with them for something like this?
The serpents are religious. They are really prideful in their technology and in their history. So we work with them because they have a lot of technology, a lot of history on this planet and on Mars. The fish also religious, and they're known for like doing things the right way. They're in the waters also. They're serious for sure. They have technology and have other things also.
And this is speculation. That's the only reason I'm going this route. We know that we have, according to the government, we've got the UAPs that fly around, but we also have the ones that that can easily transfer from one medium to another, meaning that it can pass through water as if water wasn't there.
Yes.
Is that the fish?
That could be solar water. That could be anyone that's using that technology. But the fish.
You think that's more of the field that it builds around the ship rather than
It's a field, right? It's a gravitational field that builds around the ship that allows them to travel in their own field and not have to be succumbed to those forces. But also with the fish, I have fish technology around my brain. That's one thing they told me.
All right, you said this is an implant that you have in here.
Yes, some kind of implant that's around my head, which is Montauk.
And that's the fish implant.
Yes.
Now you have other implants in your body.
I believe I have one on my leg. I woke up one morning.
That's where you had the cut.
Yes.
Has a doctor or anybody tried to remove it?
No. Like I said before, a doctor has told me I have an implant, and then they tell me I don't. I haven't asked for the film because it's sort of like I feel that I'm on duty right now. I'm doing work right now. It's not necessarily important. So they didn't say I didn't, and they didn't say I do.
Right.
It's sort of, you figure it out.
Now, do you have any fears about coming out?
No, I don't have any fears because they haven't prevented me to do what I'm doing, and I have proof. I have a UFO here, the video, and I have information that should collaborate with other people who have experience in this project. And one of the reasons why I'm coming out is to collaborate and work with others who have experiences, which I know they're out there because I've watched them watch me operate.
Now, do you presently have any capacity with the government that is known outside of you?
What do you mean by that?
Like, you have a contract with the Air Force or Navy or anything like that, or
No,
this is all
it's black.
black ops type stuff.
Right. We don't know anything about it. But when they want me to do something, I know that it's not necessarily force. It's basically you should go or we will make you type of deal.
Now, you said that the aliens have talked with you in the past about if you wanted to go with them somewhere, right? Is that what or did I hear that?
Well, no, they said that they would land in my backyard if I would like. You know, I don't know if they're joking or.
All right, so these other spaceships, how big are they?
The only one that I've closely seen is the one down in Charleston that landed, and the ones that my conscience.
And we don't have a real size comparison because
it was just my conscience.
They're rather than a body.
Right. It feels like I'm in a body, but it's not relative to anything because I'm just looking at the object itself. I've seen other planets. They show me images of planets that's lit up with light.
Not that you went there, it's just they showed you what was there.
Well, in my eyes, I have computers in my eyes.
Right.
That's what they told me. I have computers also in my eyes. So I'm sort of I got cybernetic.
Exactly. You're a cyborg.
Yeah. I'm part of the cyborg also.
I don't know where to go with this.
Well, I think it's good for
it's important to get the information
Get it out.
there. Not. I haven't seen one. But did you?
I'm $18 short on my taxi fare.
Oh,
So
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
any
anything.
cash. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an operative checking us out? Do you think the government's going to come out and let us know that, yes, not only do we know that there's otherworldly, but
Yes.
we're in communication?
From what they've told me and demonstrated to me is that we have a progression scale within our solar system and within the universe that we have progress, or else civilization itself will go extinct. So them coming out and saying that UFOs are real is part of the process. Them saying that UFOs are real is part of the process. But they have a pretty good grip on who's visiting Earth, who they are, what technologies exist, things like that. They have a really good grip on. I can say that.
Have you been surprised as far as the reaction from Americans with the government coming out and saying? I mean, it's been like a non-story just about, and it's progressed for 2 years now.
Well, it's been going on for.
Well, as far as the government admitting it,
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, yeah, it's not an uprising or anything. You know, I don't see that many people surprised or going crazy about it. So I think we'll be able to handle it. But understanding where we come from, why we're here, star seeds, I think that would change religion a whole lot. And I think that's part of the process of one of my goals.
Now, you said earlier on when you were young, you were like, you kind of pushed the Bible. You wanted to see what the computers were.
Mhm.
Are you religious yourself, or
No, I was religious, and a lot of part of the information in the Bible is part of the serpents and the fish, and that's one of the other things that I've understood.
Fix this camera again?
Okay.
How are we looking on time for you? Another 10 minutes or so?
Clock? Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Is there? I know because we've been all over the place. Is there anything that you think you need to tell me or tell any of the viewers?
One is one principle that I like to state is that you live forever, you don't die.
So that the soul does something.
Yes, the soul lives forever, and we're here, whatever progression level is to complete a process to help the Earth or your starseed family. You have a family here on Earth, but also you have a starseed family also.
Now, since we're getting into that side of it, when we're born here on Earth, is that the beginning of our life, or are we transferred from something else to this?
Yeah,
and we just don't remember it.
Your memories are wiped when you come here, and
Or our memories wiped when we leave here.
I'm not sure. I never left here other than with my consciousness. So I've died before. I have died. They have killed me. And what I mean,
The aliens or the government or
both. They have killed me. You die when they transfer your consciousness to these different places. When I had the interfacing with the Air Force guy, I actually died. And when my conscious came back into my body, my heart was running around 200 and something beats per minute. And I was completely, I felt.
And you said
dead.
the Air Force guy was a serpent.
No.
No, okay.
The Air Force guy was a white
Actual
male.
person?
Yeah, he was actually male, white male, bald head, with the Air Force.
Everybody wants to interfere. One second. I don't even know where it's at.
It's running back.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you that way, but all right. So the Air Force guy is an actual human with the Air Force.
Yes. And he could have been in Space Command. No rank. All he showed me was the insignia. And he said, so and so wants to meet with you. And I said no. And I was on the moon. And then it was virtual. And then it changed to something else. And I was in a different location. And it was just black. It was completely black. Saw an individual with.
So you weren't remote at that time. It was just a virtual around you, you think?
I was remote.
Okay.
But these beings are experts with this technology. This technology is primitive to them, and they can transfer realities and create different realities very easily. And you can feel it in your body, in your consciousness. Even though my consciousness was out of my body, I was in another body. But once you come back, your consciousness was there, and not your whole body, because your body.
When you gone through this and you were dead, you were killed.
Yes.
Did you lose time during those events?
I don't remember.
Just because of the nature of how your body was at the time, maybe that's why you don't remember,
or the only
just had looked.
The only thing that I remember was my heart was just beating 200 beats per minute. It was, and I couldn't breathe. And my dog was barking. It ran downstairs. Nobody was in
This was at the house?
Yeah, it was at my house. My dog comes downstairs. Dogs can hear a lot better, and it was barking, going crazy. And I was just laying there, like, wow, what the hell just happened? And
they trigger this through the implants more than likely?
Technology.
Just through technology?
Yes.
What does your wife think about all this?
She believes a great deal of it, and some she don't because she never experienced it. But she's amazed about it overall.
Is she in fear at all?
No, she's not in fear.
It's a kick-ass story.
Oh, it's a lot more. It's a lot more.
All right, so let me do this. We'll wrap up, and I want to digest some of this stuff.
Okay.
Do you mind meeting with me sometime in the future? Now we know.
Oh yeah, fine. Yeah.
You said you could take me to where you were taking one time?
Yeah, down the road I can show you where I met this ship at.
All right.
And
when I come back down, we'll go out there.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to try to get in your mind, and
Yeah.
I know you're not going to mug me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And study my background. Like I said, look on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I made a joke on LinkedIn where I said I was a senior project manager of the ODNI.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was just joking around.
Right.
And all my people who know me in the government, they said they'll hit like, congratulations, you're doing good, because it's, you know, they have a feeling it's, you know, you're doing something, you know, but we don't know what it is because no one has came out officially. They gave me a paper.
In these groups that where I met you, have you told your story there much, or just kind of lingered and watched?
I just put it on my Facebook page, and they kind of linger and watch, but I don't take it seriously yet because they've been keeping me busy with teaching me stuff and going through legal stuff that keep me in trouble a little bit too.
Are you able to, like, if somebody posts something, you're able to look at that and go, yeah, that guy's lying.
Yeah,
He's trying to fit in. He's a wannabe.
Right. Yes. You can see that all.
And then you'll see another one that's like,
right.
I know that dude.
And that's why I say, look at my background. I went from.
Have you met any others that have been through that? Like, you're an 11. Have you met any other 11s or any other?
No. Only thing I know, one time someone referenced 11 without me was when the NASA was talking to me, and the guy said, "Yeah, I'm 11 now." I'm like, okay, if I'm 11, are you the new 11? He's like, yeah, I'm the new 11. I don't know if they're joking or whatever, you know. But I'm like, I thought I was the 11. No, you know, I'm 11 now.
So that's when it kind of sprung on you that
They're teaching me.
Whoever is, that's just a species experiment name rather
right.
than a
right.
particular person.
Right. And pretty cool. I mean, and they're not done with me. They give me information all the time.
Well, I'm gonna message you so you can send that to me.
Yeah.
If you come up with any questions or anything you want to let me know, you can do it through email or through Messenger.
Okay.
I'll even send you my phone number. You can text me. It's fine.
Okay.
The
only thing I ask is if you meet anyone in similar conditions and they look for someone, if you can reach out and say, I know this guy named Marion.
I was about to say the same thing. If
for.
You meet someone, if you see somebody in one of the groups and say, "Hey, Bill, I think that guy's telling the truth."
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm of the situation now where the government has admitted there's UFOs. Abductions are taboo, especially abductions known by the government are taboo, or government assisting in the abductions is taboo.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the more people I can get to come out on that side,
right.
For one, it helps with my safety. I'm not really worried about my safety, but it does, you know.
Right. Well,
it's just what it is.
Yeah, you're not revealing anything like nuclear codes or anything,
right?
You know, something like that. But
yeah, we've run into some things where if
a company or something,
if people try to say that the government is involved, weird crap happens.
Right. Oh, but they're on your phone. They know everything you're doing.
Yeah, we discussed.
They play with my phone. They do all kind of stuff.
We discussed what I was told that very first time, and I had to leave it out there. But
all right,
man, it's nice meeting you. I'm gonna call you a friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You too.
I think we're good with each other.
Okay. Great.
Wow.
I have a lot. I really do have a lot.
We're going.
But we touch a lot of bases, though.
We did. We got the foundation.
Yeah.
We got the foundation. We're gonna get more though.
Okay.
Because I think we got more to tell.
A lot more.
I just got to get it all deciphered and figured out.
Okay.